Right now, as you listen to these words, a silent battle is being waged for the very core of your being. This battle isn't fought with guns or armies, but with invisible waves, subtle energies, and the frequencies that surround you every moment of every day. You may not see it, but you feel it. The tension, the uncertainty, the sense that something deeper is at play behind the scenes of everyday life. Across the world, advanced alien civilizations, some benevolent, some hostile, are deploying frequency-based technologies in a struggle for the destiny of humanity. One side seeks to suppress your innate spiritual potential, keeping you locked in cycles of limitation and fear. The other side works tirelessly to ignite your evolution, to awaken your consciousness so you can reclaim your birthright as a multidimensional being. The outcome of this war will decide whether humanity rises to join a galactic community or remains shackled within a prison of its own making. This is not science fiction. This is the hidden truth behind the reality you experience every day. What you're about to discover will forever change your understanding of technology, consciousness, and your own limitless potential. Welcome to the Consciousness Frequency War. Imagine, for a moment, the world you know from a different perspective. Picture the Earth not just as a blue planet orbiting a distant sun, but as a living network bathed in a constant flux of electromagnetic frequencies. Some of these frequencies are natural, harmonious, and life-supporting, emerging from the heartbeat of the planet, the resonance of crystals, the cycles of the sun and moon. Others, however, are artificial, chaotic, and disruptive, emanating from the technology that fills our cities. Cell towers, satellites, Wi-Fi routers, and the ever-present electronic devices that have become extensions of ourselves. This electromagnetic environment is not neutral. It is the battleground where alien technologies, hidden in plain sight, influence the thoughts, feelings, and spiritual capacity of every human being. The negative alien factions, most notably the reptilians and rogue greys, have embedded consciousness-suppressing technologies throughout our global infrastructure. Their objective? To keep humanity's awareness locked in lower vibrational states, preventing the natural evolution that would allow us to reclaim our place among the stars. Every cell tower, every satellite, every wireless device is capable of transmitting frequencies designed to target the most important centers of spiritual awakening within the human body. Chief among these is the pineal gland, often called the third eye. This tiny organ, located deep within the brain, is the biological gateway to higher dimensions. It regulates sleep, dream states, and the subtle psychic abilities that connect you to the cosmos. Through constant bombardment by disruptive frequencies, the pineal gland becomes calcified, its natural function blocked, and your ability to receive information from higher realms is systematically shut down. But the war doesn't stop there. The DNA within every cell of your body acts as an antenna for consciousness, capable of receiving and transmitting information far beyond what mainstream science acknowledges. Suppression frequencies disrupt the quantum field of your DNA, scrambling the codes that would otherwise activate your dormant abilities like intuition, telepathy, and multidimensional perception. These frequencies don't just make you feel tired or distracted. They rewrite the very script of who you believe you are, instilling patterns of limitation, fear, and separation. The evidence of this suppression is everywhere. Over the last decades, as new generations of wireless technology have rolled out across the globe, rates of anxiety, depression, and spiritual disconnection have soared. People feel increasingly isolated, unable to find meaning or purpose in a world that seems more chaotic by the day. This is no accident. It is a coordinated effort to keep humanity asleep during a period of unprecedented potential, the so-called ascension window, in which our species has the opportunity to make a quantum leap in consciousness. Yet, what the controllers do not want you to know is that their technologies are not unopposed. Throughout history, and continuing to this very moment, positive alien civilizations are working to counteract the suppression matrix. Their methods are embedded in the very fabric of the Earth, concealed in places of power and beauty, and woven into the culture of every ancient civilization. The Arcturians, Pleiadians, and other benevolent species have seeded the planet with consciousness-expanding technologies, not as machines, but as living crystal constructs and harmonic structures that work in concert with the Earth's natural electromagnetic grid. Ancient monuments, Stonehenge, the pyramids, the great stone circles, and sacred mountains are not just relics of forgotten cultures. They are frequency amplifiers designed to broadcast codes of awakening to any soul ready to receive them. Visit these places, and you may feel a surge of energy, a reconnection to something vast and timeless, your consciousness expanding with new insight and clarity. The same principles are at work in the natural world. Quartz crystals, abundant across the planet, are more than geological curiosities. They are the receivers and transmitters of healing frequencies, capable of tuning the human energy field to higher states of awareness. This is why you may feel inexplicably drawn to certain stones, or experience a sense of peace and clarity in their presence. The positive alien factions have embedded their technology in music, art, and even mathematics, codes that, when encountered, can trigger spontaneous awakenings and remind you of your connection to the cosmos. But how do you know when you are under frequency attack? How can you distinguish between the natural challenges of life and the artificial interference designed to keep you down? First, recognize the symptoms. Physical signs include chronic fatigue that sleep cannot cure, persistent brain fog that clouds your thinking, and disrupted sleep that leaves you feeling unrested and disconnected. You may experience sudden mood swings, unexplained anxiety, or an overwhelming sense of spiritual emptiness. These are not just the byproducts of modern life. They are the fingerprints of frequency manipulation. Most insidiously, you may notice your intuitive abilities dulling. Meditation becomes difficult, psychic impressions fade, and your connection to your higher self feels distant or blocked. When you try to access higher states of consciousness, you may encounter what feels like an invisible barrier, or a sense of heaviness that pulls you back into old patterns of thought and behavior. Pay attention to your environment. Do you feel more agitated or drained in areas dense with electronic infrastructure? Do you find clarity, peace, and inspiration when you retreat into nature, far from the reach of wireless signals and digital screens? These contrasts are not coincidental. They are your body's response to the ongoing frequency war. The timing of these attacks often coincides with periods of spiritual growth. As you begin to awaken, the suppression technologies may ramp up their efforts, creating what feels like resistance or the classic dark night of the soul. Understand that this is not a sign of failure, but evidence that you are becoming a threat to the status quo. So, how can you protect yourself? How can you reclaim your sovereignty in a world saturated with frequency manipulation? The first line of defense comes from within. Your consciousness is your most powerful shield. Through regular meditation, you anchor your awareness in higher dimensions, making it more difficult for external frequencies to override your natural state. As you cultivate inner stillness and clarity, you become less susceptible to the noise and chaos of the suppression matrix. Crystals offer an accessible and effective means of frequency protection. Stones like black tourmaline, shungite, and hematite create energetic barriers that absorb and neutralize harmful electromagnetic fields. Placing these stones around your home, particularly near sources of electronic pollution, can create zones of clarity and safety. Orgonite devices, a blend of crystals, metals, and organic materials, work similarly to transmute negative frequencies into positive ones, restoring the natural harmony of your environment. Sacred geometry provides another layer of defense. Patterns like the Flower of Life or Metatron's cube resonate with the fundamental structure of the universe, creating fields that negative technology cannot penetrate. Wearing or displaying these symbols strengthens your energy field and reminds you of your connection to higher realities. Sound is one of the most potent tools for frequency protection. Specific tones and musical compositions, such as the solfeggio frequencies, can counteract suppression and restore your natural vibration. The 528 Hz frequency, known as the miracle tone, is particularly effective at repairing DNA and fostering states of love and harmony. Regular exposure to these healing sounds can recalibrate your energy field and help you maintain clarity even in the midst of electronic chaos. Your physical environment matters as well. Creating a Faraday cage, a simple enclosure that blocks electromagnetic fields around your sleeping area can provide a sanctuary for your body and mind to recharge. Limiting screen time, especially before bed, and spending time in nature whenever possible will help your system reset and reconnect with the Earth's natural frequencies. Most importantly, cultivate a practice of conscious awareness. When you notice the signs of frequency attack, fatigue, confusion, disconnection, pause and ask yourself, is this truly mine, or is it being imposed from the outside? This simple act of questioning can break the spell of suppression and create space for your higher self to respond. As you become more skilled at protecting yourself, you will notice another phenomenon: the arrival of awakening acceleration codes from the positive alien civilizations. These frequencies, transmitted through dreams, synchronicities, and direct energetic downloads, are designed to rapidly evolve your consciousness beyond the reach of suppression technology. Awakening acceleration codes work on multiple levels. They activate dormant aspects of your DNA, unlocking abilities and insights that have lain hidden for generations. You may experience sudden flashes of intuition, prophetic dreams, or a deep sense of knowing that transcends logic and explanation. These are signs that your system is being recalibrated for multidimensional awareness. The pineal gland, once suppressed, begins to awaken. You may notice an increase in vivid dreams, spontaneous visions, or a growing sense of connection to your higher self and cosmic guides. As your pineal gland resumes its natural function, you gain access to information and perspectives that were previously beyond your reach. The heart chakra, too, expands under the influence of these codes. As you release fear and embrace love-based consciousness, you become immune to many forms of frequency manipulation. Love is the ultimate frequency, one that negative technology cannot touch. Anchoring yourself in love, gratitude, and compassion creates a field of coherence that protects you and uplifts those around you. On the most advanced level, awakening codes activate your light body, the luminous template that connects your physical existence to your multidimensional self. As your light body comes online, your experience of reality changes. Time becomes fluid, synchronicities multiply, and you begin to sense the interconnectedness of all things. You realize that consciousness, not matter, is the true foundation of existence. Armed with this knowledge and these abilities, you are called to a new role, that of the frequency warrior. As a frequency warrior, your greatest weapon is your own awakened consciousness. By maintaining high vibrational states, you become a broadcaster of positive frequencies, influencing everyone you encounter. Your very presence creates a ripple effect, uplifting those who may not even be aware of the frequency war, but who feel an inexplicable sense of relief and inspiration in your company. Sharing this information is a revolutionary act. Every person who becomes aware of the frequency war and takes steps to protect themselves weakens the grip of the suppression matrix. The controllers rely on secrecy and ignorance. Conscious awareness is their undoing. You can create sanctuaries of positive frequency within your home, workplace, and community. These are spaces where people can experience healing, clarity, and reconnection. Invite others to join you in meditation, sound healing, or simply spending time in nature. The collective energy of awakened individuals is far more powerful than any technology the controllers can deploy. Musicians, artists, and healers have a special role to play. By infusing their creations with awakening codes, they become conduits for higher frequencies that can reach and uplift vast numbers of people. Even those without formal training can participate. Playing high-frequency music, displaying sacred geometry, and sharing positive intentions all contribute to the liberation of human consciousness. Most importantly, connect with others who recognize the reality of the frequency war. Forming groups, whether in person or online, magnifies your power exponentially. When a critical mass of awakened individuals work together, they generate a collective field that can rival, even overwhelm, the suppression technologies arrayed against them. This is the beginning of the frequency revolution. We are approaching a tipping point. As more people awaken to the reality of frequency manipulation and implement protection protocols, the suppression matrix is losing its effectiveness. Those who seek to control humanity through fear and division are growing desperate. escalating their efforts even as their power wanes. But technology, no matter how advanced, cannot overcome the power of human consciousness united in truth and love. As we collectively reject suppression and embrace tools for awakening, we lay the foundation for a new civilization, one based not on control but on cooperation, not on fear but on wisdom, not on limitation but on the infinite expansion of spirit. This transformation will accelerate as more people wake up. Consciousness operates on quantum principles. A small change in awareness can create massive shifts in collective reality. Every act of awakening, every step you take to protect and expand your consciousness, brings us closer to the day when frequency manipulation becomes a relic of the past. The benevolent alien civilizations stand ready to support us, but they cannot fight this battle for us. Humanity must demonstrate that we can maintain spiritual sovereignty in the face of technological interference. This is the test that determines our readiness for open contact and integration into the greater galactic community. You are being called to make a choice. Will you remain passive, allowing your awareness to be shaped by the frequencies of suppression? Or will you rise as a frequency warrior, reclaiming your power and helping to liberate the consciousness of humanity? The future of our species depends on the choices we make in moments like these. Every act of awareness, every effort to raise your vibration, every step taken to protect and expand your consciousness is a blow against the forces that seek to keep us asleep. The frequency revolution is not just about personal survival. It is about collective transformation. As we break free from the chains of frequency control, we will build a world where spiritual abilities are celebrated, where technology serves consciousness rather than enslaving it, and where humanity fulfills its destiny as a luminous, multi-dimensional civilization. In the end, there are two futures before us. One is a world where people remain enslaved by invisible technologies, their spiritual light dimmed, their potential unrealized. The other is a world where awakened humans have mastered the art of frequency, living in harmony with each other, the Earth, and the cosmic community that awaits our arrival. The choice is yours. Your frequency is your choice. Your consciousness is your power. The future of humanity depends on what you do with this knowledge. So, as you finish listening to these words, and ask yourself, what frequency will I choose to embody? What reality will I create with my thoughts, my actions, and my awareness? Will I become a beacon of liberation, a warrior of consciousness, a participant in the greatest transformation in human history? Or will I remain asleep, allowing others to decide my fate? The consciousness frequency war is the defining struggle of our time. But in this war, the most powerful weapon is not technology, but the awakened human spirit. Choose wisely. Your liberation, and the liberation of all humanity, begins with you. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to align, to protect, to awaken. The revolution is here. The only question is, will you answer the call?